Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Coinwire. My name is Daily, and today we're looking at some of the updates regarding the presidential elections. Today we're going to cover a few topics. First of all, we're going to cover the recent reports saying that Kamala Harris is reportedly considering Gary Gensler, for the chairman of SEC, for the Treasury Secretary spot. This is detrimental when it comes to the crypto market in general. Why? Because, well, as we all know, Gary Gensler, he is not really a hero for the crypto industry, but now he is the Treasury Secretary. He even has more power. Oh man, the entire crypto industry is going to be crippled. And also, I want to talk about, Kamala Harris' policies on different things too. Now, if you think that I say anything wrong or bad, just comment down below, all right? I appreciate it. She had some very controversial tweets or statements officially coming from her personal account, right, that I really want to comment on as well. This was from August 17. As president, I'll work to pass the first ever federal ban on price gouging on food. My plan will include new penalties for companies that exploit crises and break the rules, and we will support smaller food businesses that are trying to play by the rules and get ahead. Okay, that sounds good, right? Last two sentences sounds good. But my problem is with the first statement. Like, what do you mean by you work on to pass the first ever federal ban on price gouging on food? Like, you want to mess with the free market? I don't know if that's what the US is all about, right? Then she also has a few more statements that I believe is, again, it just doesn't make any sense. It sounds good at the start, but then when you really think about it, it's not that good. You know what I mean? It feels like she's just saying it because she wants people to agree and vote for her. In a point. Well, I guess that's the point of the whole, presidential elections. Like, you want people to vote for you. But, like, I feel like she's just saying it because she wants to say it to get the votes. And it doesn't seem genuine. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go. This is another post, right? As the price of housing has gone up, the size of down payments have gone up as well. Even if aspiring homeowners save for years, it often still isn't enough. My administration will provide first-time homebuyers with $25,000 to help with the down payment on a new home. At first glance, this sounds very nice. I mean, people or first-time homebuyers, basically people who are eligible, they get a free $25,000 to buy their first house. So, like, more people own houses. That sounds like it solves a lot of problem like homelessness. However, if you really think about it, then it's bad for the housing industry as a whole. Let's take an example, okay? So let's say that you and another guy are trying to buy a house, right, for $400,000 because that's the general housing price in America, $400,000. And so you and the other guy are trying to outbid each other, right? So you bid $405,000. That guy bid $410,000, okay? And then you also go with $410,000 because that's the maximum amount of money that you can afford. But then there is just some random guy with $25,000 from the government coming in and be like, hey, I want to buy this house for let's say $25,000, all right? And now if you want to buy the house, you are going to have to go up to $425,000 matching with that guy, or $426,000, right? So automatically the house price increases from just $400,000 to $425,000 because, that guy wants to get the house, all right? And then it gets worse, right? So what if the neighbor, right, seizes that house previously was only sold for $400,000, now going up to $425,000. Well, he's gonna want to raise his house price to $425,000 as well. Even let's say the two houses are identical, right? And now there is another guy, right, with another $25,000 from the government. He'd be like, I want to buy this house for $425,000, but because he has a $25,000 from the government, he's willing to bid up to $450,000. And so that's how it can go, right? And so it's very bad for the market. So it doesn't mean that every house will almost instantly increase in price by $25,000. They can go up way higher than that, depending on the kind of houses, depending on the area. Like if that area is crowded, is in the city, and the house price can go way more than just $25,000 because people now, they are going to outbid each other, all right? And the house price is just going to increase instantly. So I think that's really bad for the industry. So not only does this not solve the problem, I think it kind of makes the problem worse. And the second problem that, I see with this statement is pointed out by Joey Manario for illegal aliens, not Americans. I think I know what he's trying to say. I mean, the policy is not clear as of this moment, but she said that her administration will provide first-time home buyers with $25,000. So what does she mean by first-time home buyers? Like, who is eligible here? In the US, there's this huge problem with illegal migrations, right? They just storm through the gate. I mean, the Biden administration, they just let them through, right? And so they are the ones that are first-time home buyers in this sentence because, again, they are illegals and, they have never been to the United States before. They don't have a house. They don't have anything yet. So they are the first-time home buyers. There are people saying that, you don't have to be, an American citizen to be able to be eligible for this program. As long as you pay taxes, then you're good to go. Let's say that you are an American. You've been working your whole life. But like you have a small home, right? And you want to upgrade that home into a bigger home. But now you cannot be eligible for this, I'm sorry, I just ask Rock for no reason. But now you're not eligible for this program because you are not the first-time home buyers. So that's really effed up when it comes to like serving your fellow Americans. And so that's really like boggling me because if this policy is not for the American people, then why are you the American president? Like, I just don't understand how that works. She also has a very bold statements when it comes to like big corporations and, the ban on food and whatever prices. So there it is. When I am president, it will be a day one priority to bring down prices. Okay, that sounds good. I'll take on big corporations that engage in illegal price gouging and corporate landlords that unfairly raise rent on working families. So you are blaming big corporations and corporate landlords for prices being up. I'm not an economist, but I don't think that's why prices are up. I think prices are up because of inflation, which is mainly caused by government spending. Like, again, coming from a non-American, that's pretty clear. I mean, look at the U.S. debt, all right, and look at the U.S. spending. Look at the U.S. debt compared to the GDP. Right? Again, it is not a hard thing to think about. So why are you blaming the big corporations and also the corporate landlords about these issues when the big corporations they are barely struggling as it is? A lot of companies, a lot of big corporations, they are firing. All right, having massive layoffs. Is that a sign of they benefiting, or is that a sign of they are also having trouble and they are also trying to survive? So that is something that you should think about. And there are sources of valid proofs that I can also show you saying that, big corporations and corporate landlords are not the issue. So this is a research done by Mark J. Perry back in April 2nd, 2015. The research is on what the public thinks the average company makes and compared to reality, right? And so the public thinks that the average company makes a 36% profit margin, which is shown in the chart right here, right? 36% is what the public thinks about US companies compared to what they actually make. All right, back in 2015, Walmart 3.1% profit margin. All right, median for 212 industries is about 6.5, 7.5% respectively. So it's about 3 to about 8% of profit margin of all of these, on average, for all of these big corporations that obviously are price gouging and harming the people and profiting a lot of money from the people, which is not true. So in her statement and in her policy, she already tackled the wrong reason. All right, the reason for people suffering with high prices is not because of big corporations and landlords. It's because of the government. And here's a piece of information that shows you how the government is actually to be blamed for those high prices. So inflation comes when aggregate demand exceeds aggregate supply. The source of demand is not hard to find. In response to the pandemic's dislocation, the US government sent about $5 trillion in checks to people and businesses. $3 trillion of it newly printed money with no plans for repayment. Fiscal stimulus boosted the consumption of goods without any noticeable impact on production, increasing excess demand pressures in good markets, admitted by the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors as early as July 2022. As a result, fiscal support contributed to price tensions. Most economists say that factors including snarled supply chains, a sudden shift in consumer buying patterns, basically mean people have a lot of money and they buy like crazy, and the increased customer demand fueled by stimulus from the government and low rates from the Federal Reserve are far more responsible than the corporate behavior for the rise in prices. If we were to have like price control on a large scale, it's gonna be very bad. All right, just think about it this way. All right, if we have like price control, like she wants to bring prices down with price control. With price control, manufacturers, right, corporations, suppliers, they're not going to get as much profits as they have, which is already very, very small, about 3 to 8% profit. And they already think that it is too much. Now, okay, so what is too much for you? How much you want to lower it down to? 2%, 1%. Businesses cannot operate on a 1% profit, for example. All right, lots of businesses can, but big corporations, when they see that their profits are coming down from, let's say, 8% down to about 1-2%, guess what they're gonna do? They are going to find a way to go around the rules, all right, around the price control, and they are going to lower the production costs, aka the product same price but lower in quality. Or they could just shift or pivot to producing something else that has a bigger profit margin. All right, that's gonna just imbalance the whole supply market. Let's say you are selling meat, all right, and let's say that your profit margin is around like, I don't know, 3 to 5%, all right, which is very small. All right, now there is a price control and your profit is down to about 1%. Well, then we just don't want to sell meat anymore because we want to sell clothing and fashion stuff because those stuff have a higher profit margin of about 5% to 8%. So why not? And so without these meat suppliers, that would just imbalance or lower the supply of meat in general in the market, and that would jack up the meat price to infinity. And again, you as the consumer are the ones who have to pay the high prices. And the final problem that I see with this statement is that why aren't you doing it already? I mean, even though you were not President Kamala Harris, you are the VP, the Vice President, right? The second in command. Why wouldn't you be able to do this on day one? I mean, you have been in office for like, I don't know, some people comment like 3.5 years, 4 years now, and she hasn't done a thing. And so I'm just very curious, like, what did she think? Like, what came over her head when she wrote this statement and posted it on X? Like, she thought she'll be, I don't know, cheered with applauses from her supporters or what? Like, because this just showed that she is completely incompetent in doing what is her job. And again, it seems like she's just trying to say big words to get applauses, to get votes, rather than actually doing anything. That brought me to this article by Coinwire, right? Kamala Harris reportedly considering Gary Gensler for Treasury Secretary. Now, at this point, I've read about, you know, her ideologies, her policies, and now her consideration of Gary Gensler for this position. For some reason, I just feel like I cannot trust this woman. Gary Gensler has been a prominent figure regulating the crypto industry during his tenure as SEC chairman. But honestly, I mean, I've been in this crypto market since 2021, and ever since 2021, I just don't see his doing his job. I mean, again, what he did was only suing like Ripple and different companies like Binance, Coinbase, and different like Uniswap even, right? So he's just trying to sue everybody that he can sue, all right? For what? I just don't know why he would do that. If you look at the European countries, right? Europe, they have MiCA. All right, I'm not saying that MiCA is the perfect, you know, regulations for crypto, but at least they have something. All right, at least they have something for European companies and crypto businesses to follow. He has nothing. Gary Gensler has done. He has done nothing. For the past years that he's been, right, what he did was only limiting the space and try to drove away of the crypto businesses, even though they are trying to actively reach out to the SEC and try to be compliant. And him being selected for this major role of Treasury Secretary would be a threat to the crypto market in general. The idea of Gensler taking over as Treasury Secretary has already sparked controversy, particularly among Republicans. Representative Tom Emmer has voiced strong opposition, arguing that Gensler's appointment or a similar nomination from Senator Elizabeth Warren could have severe consequences for the economy. In conclusion, as Kamala Harris' potential nomination of Gary Gensler for Treasury Secretary garners attention, the implications for the crypto industry and broader economic policy are becoming a focal point of political debate, with strong reactions from both supporters and detractors. Gensler's next move, whether staying at the SEC or transitioning to the Treasury, will be closely watched by industry experts and political figures alike. And so that's a quick update about Kamala Harris' situation, about her trying to appoint Gary Gensler for Treasury Secretary. Personally, I just don't think Kamala Harris is the right fit as the President of the United States. This space has a lot of bugs, a lot of scams. I know it, you know it, but it's a part of the industry. There's nothing we can do about it. It's completely decentralized, all right? So the problem is not within these projects. The problem is in ourselves to basically better educate ourselves, all right? I got scammed, you got scammed, we all got scammed by meme coins at some point, but we grow from that and we mature and we move on, we move forward and we make more money. That's how it's supposed to be. It's a learning experience, okay? You cannot just expect everybody to fight and to protect for you. It's not what this space is all about. This space is all about decentralization and the custody of our own assets. If you want custody of your own asset, you gotta protect it. You cannot just wait for Gary Gensler and the SEC to sue everybody that you don't like, okay? What we want from the SEC and what we want from the next president of the United States is a clear regulations when it comes to crypto, or a clear policies of what crypto should be and how crypto businesses should operate in the US so that crypto can grow. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end, and make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think about this situation. Remember to use our MEXC referral code in the description to get a 10% reduction in your trading fees for life, as well as up to $1,000 in USDT as rewards, okay? Also, join our Telegram trading signal group, which generated quite a lot of profits for the past few weeks. It's free again, make sure to check it out. Alright, take care now. Daily out.